Hello students. In the previous video I have taught about the muscles of the posterior abdominal wall. Now the next important topic in the posterior abdominal wall is the thoracolumbar fascia. Now what is the fascia of the posterior abdominal wall? The soft tissues of the posterior abdominal wall consist of several layers of fascia. This fascia divide the soft tissues of this region into anatomically distinct compartments. So, the soft tissues of the posterior abdominal wall consist of several layers of fascia. Okay, and this fascia it divide the soft tissues into various compartments. This fascia are thoracolumbar fascia, psoas fascia, iliac fascia, perirenal fascia, and lateral conal fascia. Okay, so this fascia which are present in the posterior abdominal wall, it divides the soft tissues, the organs, into anatomically different compartments. Okay, out of this fascia, the important fascia which is frequently asked as short note, MCQs, viva is the thoracolumbar fascia. Okay, so we'll go to the thoracolumbar fascia. It's a very easy topic if you understand the two diagrams. Okay, the first diagram which I'll explain here is this is the fascia. So this fascia it is spreading. Okay, this is spread. So it is spread horizontally, okay, on the posterior abdominal wall, and it is spread vertically. Okay, so that is horizontal extent and vertical extent of this fascia. So this fascia is taken horizontally as well as vertically. Okay, now this fascia has three layers. The thoracolumbar fascia is very related closely to the muscles of the posterior abdominal wall. So the posterior abdominal wall muscles are psoas major, psoas minor, iliacus and quadratus lumborum. So this fascia is in very close contact with this abdominal wall muscles, that is posterior abdominal wall muscles, and this fascia for descriptive purposes it has three layers: anterior, middle and posterior layer. So please understand the diagram, students. This is the horizontal extent of the layers of the thoracolumbar fascia, horizontally. Okay, so if we take the horizontal extent, this is the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, this is your lumbar vertebrae. This is psoas major muscle. Okay, this is the transverse process. This is the spinous process. Okay, this is transversus abdominis and internal oblique muscle of the anterior abdominal wall. This is free posterior edge of the external oblique. This is the anterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia. This is the middle layer of this fascia, and this is the posterior layer of this fascia. So this is anterior, this is middle, and this is the posterior layer. All these three layers they blend together and form an aponeurosis which gives attachment to this transversus abdominis and internal oblique muscle. You can see here these three layers they blend together. Okay, this here is erector spinae muscle, here is quadratus lumborum muscle. Yes, you can see. So this diagram is very important. Okay, you can see this diagram. Yes. Clear? Now we'll explain the anterior layer. Okay, the anterior layer of the fascia. It is also called as quadratus lumborum fascia. It covers the anterior surface of the quadratus lumborum. So this is also known as quadratus lumborum fascia, and it covers, see, you can see this is the greenish, this greenish line is the anterior layer which covers the anterior surface of the quadratus lumborum fascia. It is attached medially to the anterior surfaces of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae. So medially it is attached to the anterior surface. You can see here medially. It is attached to the anterior surface of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae. Okay, and laterally it merges with the posterior layer. So laterally, the lateral part. So this is the medial part. This is the lateral part. So it merges with the posterior layer. Okay. So this was about the anterior layer. We'll go to the middle layer. The middle layer separates the erector spinae from the quadratus lumborum. So the middle layer, okay. So the middle layer, it separates the erector spinae with the quadratus lumborum. So this layer is present between the erector spinae muscle and the quadratus lumborum. Quadratus lumborum I have taught you in my previous video, one of the important muscle of the posterior abdominal wall. Erector spinae muscle I have taught when I did the muscles of the back connecting with the upper limb. Okay, this I have done. Okay, so this middle layer is separating these two muscles. Okay, this middle layer is attached medially to the tips of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae. So medially it is attached to the tip. Anterior layer is attached to the surfaces of this transverse process. This is attached to the tip of the transverse process, and laterally it blends with the posterior layer. So laterally it is blending. This middle layer is blending laterally with the posterior layer. Okay. Posterior layer, it covers the deep muscles of the back. Okay. It is attached medially to the lumbar vertebrae and sacral spinous process. So this is the spinous process. So medially it is attached to the spinous process of the lumbar and the sacral vertebrae. Okay, and laterally it blends with the middle and anterior layer. So laterally it is blending with the middle and the anterior layer. See, this is blending with the middle and the anterior layer. Okay, all the three layers merge to form an aponeurosis that gives attachment to the internal oblique transversus abdominis muscle. So all these three layers, it is meeting together, it blends and it forms aponeurosis which gives attachment to the transversus abdominis and the internal oblique muscle. Okay, so by looking at the diagram you can easily explain the three layers. This is the horizontal extent of the thoracolumbar fascia. One more time I'll revise. This is your lumbar vertebrae, this is the transverse process, this is spinous process, this is internal oblique transversus abdominis and external oblique. This dark green here is the anterior layer, this is the middle layer, this is the posterior layer, this is psoas major, this is quadratus lumborum muscle and erector spinae. Just looking at the diagram we can explain here is the anterior layer, it forms and it covers the anterior surface of the quadratus lumborum. That's why it is also known as quadratus lumborum part of the fascia. Okay, now this anterior layer medially it is attached with the anterior surface of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae, and laterally it blends with the posterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia. Now we'll take the middle layer. It is present between the erector spinae and the quadratus lumborum muscle. It is medially attached to the tip of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae, and laterally it blends with the posterior abdominal wall. Posterior layer of the fascia. Posterior layer of the fascia. The next is the posterior layer. Big layer. It's a big layer, and this layer, okay, it is attached medially to the spinous processes of sacrum and lumbar vertebrae, and laterally it blends with the middle and the anterior layers of this fascia, and this together three layers they form aponeurosis which helps in attachment or gives attachment to this transversus abdominis and internal oblique muscle. So this was the horizontal extent of this fascia. Now we'll go towards the vertical extent. Now this is the vertical extent. This is the middle layer. This is the posterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia. This is the anterior layer. This is the iliac crest. This is the part of the sacrum. Okay, you can see this is erector spinae. Okay, this is quadratus lumborum. This is the diaphragm and 12th rib. This is the diaphragm and the 12th rib. Okay, with the lateral arcuate ligament. Okay, so this is the vertical extent of the fascia. Okay, now I will read this. The posterior layer can be traced upwards into the thorax, at the upper end of which it becomes continuous with the deep cervical fascia. Now I am talking about the posterior layer. The posterior layer, now this is the posterior layer, it extends above in the thorax. Okay, this posterior layer, it extends above in the thorax and it continues as the deep cervical fascia in the thorax, in the neck area. Okay, this is the posterior layer. The serratus posterior inferior and the serratus superior are superficial to it. So this muscles are superficial to it. That means this layer, it gives attachment to this muscle. Okay, it provides an attachment to this muscle. Now, inferiorly, it can be traced medially to the sacrum and laterally to the iliac crest. So, inferiorly, it is traced to the sacrum. Okay, it is traced the sacrum and the iliac crest. Okay, so inferiorly, it can be traced medially to the sacrum and laterally to the iliac crest. Okay, so this is the extent of the posterior layer of the thoracolumbar fascia, that is the vertical extent. Now we'll go to the middle layer. The middle layer is attached to the 12th rib above and the iliac crest below. So the middle layer is attached to the 12th rib. You can see here, this is the 12th rib. So the middle layer is attached to the 12th rib above and to the iliac crest below. So below it is attached to the iliac crest and above to the 12th rib. The next is the anterior layer is also attached below to the iliac crest. Its upper end forms the lateral arcuate ligament which gives origin to diaphragm. So the anterior layer, below it is attached to the iliac crest. You can see here, below it is attached to the iliac crest and above it forms the lateral arcuate ligament giving attachment to the diaphragm. Okay, so above it forms the lateral arcuate ligament. Okay, above it end forms the lateral arcuate ligament LAL which gives origin to the diaphragm. So this is the thoracolumbar fascia. So what we have studied in this fascia, this is an important fascia of the posterior abdominal wall. This fascia has the horizontal extent and the vertical extent. This fascia has three layers: the anterior layer, the middle layer and the posterior layer. Okay, now this fascia, it is very closely related to the posterior abdominal wall muscles. Now we'll take the horizontal extent. The horizontal extent, we have three layers: the anterior, the middle and the posterior layer. This is the lumbar vertebrae, this is the transverse process and spinous process. Internal and transverse is abdominis muscle, external oblique. This is psoas major, quadratus lumborum, erector spinae. Now this is the anterior layer which is close contact with the anterior surface of the quadratus lumborum muscle. That's why it is also known as quadratus lumborum fascia. It is attached medially to the anterior surface of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae and laterally it blends with the posterior layer of the fascia. Now I talk about the middle layer. The middle layer, it separates the erector spinae muscle and the quadratus lumborum muscle. Medially it is attached to the tip of the transverse process of the lumbar vertebrae and laterally it blends with the posterior abdominal wall. Okay. Next is the posterior layer. The posterior layer is medially attached with the spinous process of the lumbar and the sacral vertebrae and laterally it blends with the middle layer and the anterior layer, and it forms an aponeurosis. This aponeurosis, it gives the attachment of the transversus abdominis and internal oblique muscle. Okay, so this was an horizontal extent. Now I'll go to the vertical extent. This is the posterior layer, this is the erector spinae, this is the middle layer, this is the anterior layer, this is the quadratus lumborum, this is sacrum, iliac crest, this is the lateral arcuate ligament, this is the diaphragm, and this is the 12th rib. Now if you see, we'll take the posterior layer. Vertically it extends up to the thorax and it continues as deep cervical fascia, okay, in the back part, and inferiorly it is attached medially to the sacrum and laterally to the part of the iliac crest. Okay, so it is attached to the sacrum and the iliac crest. Then the erector spinae muscle, then comes the middle layer. The middle layer superiorly, if you see, it is attached to the 12th rib, and inferiorly it is attached to the iliac crest. And we'll take the anterior layer. So anterior layer, below it is also attached to the iliac crest, and above superiorly it forms the lateral arcuate ligament which gives origin to the diaphragm. It forms the lateral arcuate ligament which gives origin to the diaphragm. So understand this topic on the basis of this two diagram. Kindly understand this topic, and I will take the next topic of the posterior abdominal wall next time. Okay, thank you students.